Hi guys, welcome to week number 7 of this 8-week mindset training on the beginning mindset of the entrepreneur. So for those that are just jumping on live, hi, welcome. Hi Tammy, say hi and where you're coming in from. If you are watching the replay or this at a later time, thank you so much. Hi Jules. David, hi Nancy, hi Sherry, hi Donna, hi Janine, how are you? So again, I've actually prepared a 10-page ebook on this content with actually an action step worksheet to keep you guys accountable, free for all that share this. So all you have to do is hit the share button in the comments below, hashtag shared with your email address, and I will send you a copy of that later today. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Nancy. Again. Hi, Carol. Branislaw Lee, how are you? Good to see you guys on here. And again, if you're just popping on, please share this content so you can get the ebook and the action step worksheet on this. I'm doing great, Janine. Thank you so much. So today, as you can see in the description, week number 7, we are going to go over the importance of letting go. And there's 3 little tips that I have for you, and there's some stories that I also wanted to share with you because it is important for you guys to know. David, thank you so much for sharing. So just like David, if you have shared it, use hashtag shared in the comments below. Hi, Maria. Hi, Tammy. And obviously send me your email address if I do not have it. So again, let me just, before I jump in, for those that are on here live, type in Y or yes in the chat box if you believe that one of the most important aspects to creating the best life for you is letting go. Y or yes in the chat box if you feel that letting go obviously will help you create the life that you deserve. Carol, that's right, unkink those hoses. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you sharing this. So Y or yes in the chat box. Nancy says yes. Thank you. Anyone else? David says yes. Tammy says yes. Janine says hella yes. Carol says yes. Maria, thank you for sharing this content. You will be getting this ebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, if you're just popping on or if you're on the replay, use hashtag shared with your email address and I will send you a copy of this. Heck yes, says Michelle. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this doesn't just pertain to entrepreneurship. This pertains to life because we all have had things that have happened to us. And if for those that were on my Facebook Live on Monday, I talked about some of the things that I had gone through, being bullied and picked on, and my father being in prison for 2.5 years and two divorces, a bankruptcy, and all those things that I went through. Jabri says yes. Donna says yes. And, and I also posted something yesterday that says, if you're constantly living in your past, you can't create what you should achieve in the future because you're just replaying those tapes over and over and over again. We are overcomers. That is right, Michelle. So, I want to go over 3 things, 3 action steps of what you can do. Kale, what's up? Good to see you on here. Hi, Jill. So number one, the most important thing that you should do in letting go is not letting go of the events, but letting go of the emotion of that event. Let go of the emotion of that event. If that all makes sense, please type Y or yes in the chat box. And David says he's done with those tapes. Lee says yes. Betsy says yes. If that all makes sense, if you guys can understand that. Tara, thank you so much for sharing. Hi, Stacy. Yes. So what I mean about the emotion, so I'm going to share 2 more stories with you. So about 12 years ago, I was involved in a car accident coming back from a Hanukkah party with my ex-brother-in-law driving. We were in a two-door Acura, and we were rear-ended by a drunk driver on 95 South heading back to Philadelphia home. And we were going about 65, 70 miles per hour in the far left lane of 95. And we were rear-ended by a drunk driver who was going close to 100 miles per hour in a Chevy Suburban. So we were in a two-door Acura compared to a four-door Chevy Suburban. And the blessing in this was we were both relaxed. We didn't see it coming. We were rear-ended. The trunk came into the back seat. We were thrusted forward. The front axle broke. I remember the steering wheel just going like this, just nonstop. And we ended up spinning across all four lanes of traffic, untouched. Obviously, there was some residual soreness and other soft tissue damage. And my ex-brother-in-law at the time was also an injury attorney. And, you know, the gentleman that hit us was not only drunk, but it was his fourth DUI, and he was using his brother's insurance and driver's license. So he was arrested on the scene, and we went through the whole process and everything, and I did some chiropractic care and all of these things. And I remember that, you know, I got a 5-figure settlement. And thank you, Michelle. And I ended up getting a 5-figure settlement. And as a lot of you may know, I was involved in a family business, and my family found out about the settlement. And it was suggested to me by the family to take that money and invest it back into my business, which was the gym, in promise of, when the time was right, getting that check back and obviously claiming what was mine. So on the day that obviously this happened, my family met me at the lawyer's office, where I received the check, and it was immediately handed over. That was then deposited into the business account. And I was then handed a check that had a date for a month from the date that I handed the check over, with the amount of that check. And it was never able to be deposited. The money was never there. I still have the check to this day. And again, I learned from that situation, and I could have held on to that, but I've let go of the emotional attachment of that event. I've never forgotten it, because there are things that happened in our lives and in our life every single day that could hold us back from what we're looking to achieve in life. And if you listen to Jim Rohn, if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, if you listen to Tony Robbins, they always talk about things that happened in their life. And they may get emotional about it, but they're not holding on to that event. They've let go of the emotion of that event that keeps them living in the past. They never forget the event because it propels them into the future. Thank you guys for all the hearts. If that all makes sense, please type Y or yes in the chat box. You're so welcome, Betsy. You know, transparency is key. If that all makes sense, please type Y or yes in the chat box. Letting go of the emotion of the event, but not ever forgetting what has happened. Now, that's number one. Number two, thank you guys. Thank you. Yep. The past is to learn to not live in. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Love it. Love it. Thank you, guys. And again, if you're just jumping on, if you hit the share button and you put in hashtag shared with your email address, I have an ebook with an action step worksheet on how to let go, free. You just have to share this content. So number 2 in learning how to let go, choosing, making the choice to let go, choosing to let go. If you don't ever come to the decision to choose, nothing's going to change. Linda, thank you for sharing. Stacy, thank you for sharing. Nothing's going to change. You have to choose. You have to choose. When you finally decide and you choose to let go, enough is enough. I'm not living in that story anymore. My present is not going to be dictated by what's already happened. I am going to create the abundant present and future that I deserve. You then step into living exactly the way that you deserve. The exact way that you deserve. Thank you for the hearts. One other story I want to share with you. So I used to own a home in South Philadelphia in an area called Pennsport, which is right by the Mummers Museum. So for those that are familiar with Philadelphia, we have something called the Mummers Day Parade, which is on New Year's, and I lived right off of 2nd Street. Beautiful, 115-year-old home, great area of South Philadelphia. And when I was in one of my relationships, I had it. Elaine, thank you for sharing. Carmen, thank you for sharing. Jabri, thank you for sharing. Thank you, guys. When I decided that it was time for me to let go of it being a rental and sell it, I was sitting at closing, and I had the house for about 11 years, and I had about $35,000 worth of equity that I would be receiving from the sale price of the house. When I got to closing, my past reared its head again. This time, it was in the form of a lien. In the beginning stages of opening my 3rd gym, my family had recommended me taking out a small business loan to help the gym with some extra cash flow. What I didn't realize is that my house was used as collateral. So when I got to the closing, they found out that there was a lien and that SBA was going to be taking a portion of the equity that was supposed to come out of the sale of the house. And after all was said and done, what was left over out of the $35,000 was $825. That is what I walked away with the sale of my house. And again, I could have pointed the fingers. I could have blamed. I could have gotten down in the dumps and basically just given up. But what I didn't do was I didn't allow that to dictate my past and my present. I didn't allow that to stop me from achieving what I wanted to achieve. So you guys have to understand, there are always going to be things that happen. But I made the choice to not let it define my future. I chose to not let it define my future. So if that all makes sense, please type Y or yes in the chat box below. And if you are just jumping on, please hit the share button, hit hashtag shared with your email address, and I have content waiting for you guys, an ebook and an action step worksheet. And if you're on the replay, obviously you can do the same. Carol says, let go and grow. You can't, and so glad I didn't. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate all of the support you guys are giving. So why are yes in the chat box? Yes, yes, yes. Love seeing all that. Thank you guys so much. Now, again, If that all makes sense, Y or yes in the chat box, because it is so important for you guys to understand that you have to make the right choice. So number one is letting go of the emotion of letting go. Letting go of the emotion, not the event, letting go of the emotion. Number two, choosing to let go, stepping into it. Now, number three, and this, in my opinion, is the most important aspect of this. This is the most important. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the importance of letting go is that it does something to you. And this is the most important thing right here. This is what helped me the most. When I was able to finally let go of the emotion of it, but not forget about the event, I was finally able to take the power back. When you give into the events, when you give into the emotion of the event, when you give into pointing the finger at everyone else, instead of turning the mirror around on you, you're giving your power away. You're giving that power away. When you let go of the emotion of those events, you take your power back. You step into that light that we all have inside of us. Every single one of us has the power, has the potential, has the drive and the know-how and the knowledge to achieve anything you ever have dreamed of. But as long as you give into it, as long as you give away your power, your time, your energy, your love, your effort, you're not taking care of you. When you let go of that emotion, you take that power back. And once you take that power back, no one can ever take it from you. What you guys have to understand, and what I have come to understand, is that there is never going to be a day where there is not going to be something on your plate. There is always going to be something on your plate. If you guys can agree with that statement, Y or yes in the chat box. If you guys can agree, there is always going to be something on your plate, Y or yes in the chat box. Because it's the truth. Once something gets cleared off, something else is waiting right behind it. But the key to this is understanding and being present that none of those things will affect you unless you give your power to them. Always take back your power by letting go of that emotion, standing in your power, being the amazing individual that you are, not letting anything penetrate what's inside of here. Because you are the most important person in all of this. The equation of life all comes down to you. If you take yourself out of the equation, there is nothing left. You are number one. No one else. So guys, in review, 3 things that you can do actively to let go and to move forward in your life is number 1, letting go of the emotion. Number 2, finally choosing to let go. And number 3, taking the power back. Take that power back because you are the most important person. Now again, if you're just popping on, if you're on the replay, hashtag shared with your email address. If you share this content, I have an ebook for you guys with an action step worksheet on how to let go. What are those stories that are holding you back? Now, what I want you guys to do now before we leave, before I sign off, I want you guys to do another brain dump. Who is finally ready? who on here right now is finally ready to let go and move forward in their life? Type in all caps, I am. Type in I am in all caps if you are finally ready to let go of all of those things and all of those stories that are holding you back from your greatness. Type in I am. I am. David is ready. Annette is ready. Who else is ready to finally let go? Because you guys deserve it. No one else does. This is about you and what you are. Maria says, I am. David says, I am. The best life out there, if you're not currently living it, is waiting for you. You just have to decide. Guys, as always, thank you for stepping on here live and on the replay. This is week number 7. Week number 8, I got some special things planned for the last week, next week. Before we go into the next module of things that we're going to do together, I appreciate, honor, and respect each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. I am so thankful and grateful for all of you. If you haven't shared already, use #shared with your email address, and I will send you this content. I love you all so much. Enjoy this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Be the best that you can be because you deserve to be the best you can be. Love you all, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.